Good morning and welcome back to Bernama today. As promised, we're going to be talking about the Malaysian Association of Women Empowerment, or rather we'll be speaking to its president, Dato Geethanjali Ji, talking about a brilliant initiative. It's called My Women. And thank you very much for joining us, Dato. It's a great pleasure to have you here and an honor to have you here. Well, you've been doing a lot of things. You're quite an activist. She's a radio host. She's a TV host, an actress at that. So many things. How do you juggle all these hats you wear?
Thank you very much. It's pleasure is mine to be here. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank Bernama TV and yourself for having me here and allowing me to share my thoughts on my women as well as myself. And before I'd start with anything, I'd like to first convey my heartfelt prayers and sincerest thoughts on behalf of the women and men in My Women to the Nigerian girls who have been abducted, 250 over of them who have been gone for more than 4 weeks, and no traces of them, and they can't be found.
Right. Apparently there was a video released yesterday. Yes. Shekau said that these girls have converted and they want militants to be freed in order to let the girls go.
And one of those girls who escaped this abduction told that she actually overheard the abductors, one of her abductors, speaking to a fellow abductor that they want to get these girls married off to these guys. So, so this is very heart-wrenching. So I just feel, and I would like to just say that let's all pray. And today is Vesak Day. Happy Vesak Day to all of you out there. Let us celebrate this in peace, and please send out your prayers to those who need them the most at this point of time. And to answer your question around that, you say I'm a TV host, as you said, right? So it goes that way. Yeah. So how do I juggle my time? A good amount of discipline, which I try mostly to follow a strict schedule.
Right.
I wake up 5:30 in the morning every day. So
5:30 in the morning every day?
Yeah, that happens.
Wow. I wake up at about 6:37 and I complain.
Right.
Well, we're talking about My Women. What's My Women all about?
Okay, it's a neutral, non-governmental organization which is apolitical. We are not partisan, and it is an organization fighting against abuse on women. Abuse these days is present in various forms in the society. Abuse at workplace, violence, physical, verbal abuses, sexual harassment, women deprived of their career opportunities, career advancement opportunities, so on and so forth. So we are committed to fight against all these abuses, all of them. We are not letting anything go, anything miss our eyes. So we are committed to that, and entering its first year of formation, My Women has been involved in a lot of activities, efforts, and programs to uplift the voices of women and to protect the Malaysian women. We believe that each and every Malaysian woman, each and every one of them, deserve to be respected, deserve to be treated with dignity and also equality.
Do you think we're anywhere close to that happening?
Well, I must thank our current Honorable Prime Minister, Dato Geethanjali, for giving us that goal, and putting women at the heart of transformation. And we have somewhat reached it. And we have good results in the sense that out of 62 high courts in Malaysia, high court judges in Malaysia, 30 of them are women. And of all the ministries that we have, I think we have about 11 or 12. 7 of them are, they have Secretary Generals who are women, the latest being the Health Ministry. So we are in line. But again, there's still more to be done.
Right.
You see, we also have a very productive and a wonderful Women Affairs Minister, Women, Family and Community Development Minister, Dato Sri Dr. Rohani Abdul Karim, who is working. She's doing her best to do a lot of things. She's highlighting a lot of issues, and she mentioned in the papers, I think last month, that there are about 200 women who are qualified to sit on the boards of public listed companies, but the doors are shut.
Right.
Okay, the doors are shut. So why is this happening? What are we doing? What needs to be done?
So how does My Women help then?
Okay. Like what I told you, we provide counseling, we provide training, and apart from, just to add on to your question, we also provide temporary shelters, and apart from that, all these things, we run a training programs, specified, custom training programs, targeted at specific groups, looking at their needs. What is this group? What does this group need? What do these women need?
You look at different demographics.
Yes, we look at different demographics, and we make sure that we cater to their needs, because it's really diverse. If you look at it, it's really, really diverse. We have this women who are sitting at top positions who need some help and support, and we also have people at the grassroots level, and we have the people in the intermediate level. We have to cater to all these people. They are all women, they are all capabilities, they are all potentials.
So how do you go about addressing this, or first ascertaining who these women are? You said different demographics. What kind of surveys are run? How do you do a sort of a poll to find out who's at what level, and how do you help them?
I must say that, and I must thank all parties involved in this. We have a good relationship with the government agencies and all the other women aid organizations, all the other women organizations. So we join hands with them, we network well, and we get their surveys, because it won't be possible for us to do it in 1 year, you see. So we get all this, we gather good information, and we have a really good volunteer group, as well as a group of dedicated staff who are they just devote their lives to these women, and they comprise of women and men. That's what I want to say. You see, men and women, and when speaking about discrimination, it's always men against women. That's what they think, but it's not that way all the time. There are women depriving other women as well, at the workplaces, at home even. In some societies, we see that happening. So we must also start understanding that men are complementary of women, and we help each other. We are in this life together. We are perhaps two sides of the same dollar, but we are not $2 altogether, right? So we have to start understanding all these things. See, there are no very big, sophisticated, systematic approach to these things. They are very reasonable and realistic approach that you have to take up in your hands. You have to first think about what each and every one actually needs, what has to really be done, and at the same time there has to be a mentality shift on both sides, men and women, and in the society. We have to start thinking.
So when you say there needs to be a mentality shift, how do we start? No, well, what's the starting point of a decent mentality shift, so to speak?
I think we have to start seeing what are the differences. You see, sometimes people would like to point on differences as setbacks. They say these are minus points, these are differences, and this is why, you are men, and then you are a man, and you don't let me do this because I'm not the same as you, or you feel that I'm incompetent, and so on and so forth. But actually you have to look at those differences and learn from each other. See, we can multitask. Women are made to multitask. They are biologically made that way. Revolution has not changed that, right? And men are meant to be objective, right? We have to learn from you. And when you start being objective, men, when you start being objective, you go out with all the zeal and zest. Women, we have to do that. Already there are a lot of people, a lot of women who are already doing that with so much of spirit. They are out there already making the change. They are out there. We can name a lot of people, apart from people who are in the political scene. In the non-governmental scene, you see a lot of women who are doing it already. They are enlightened. They know what they are capable of, that they have to be in the mainstream of development of this country. We have been there before. In the pre-independence struggle, in the post-independence struggle, we have to be there. The capacity of women, the potential, the fullest potential has not been exploited to its fullest level. So
My Women is going to exploit this, or help them exploit this potential, right?
Yes.
And with that, if one wants help from My Women, how do they come up to this what do you call it? This project you're having, and say, look, I want help. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I need. Do they need to come up with a plan? of some
No,
sort?
they just have to come to us. They have to come to us. We will see and assess them. We've got counselors who will look at them and look at their problems, or perhaps they have some expertise or resources to share with. So we will assess all that, and then we will see where to place them. You see, we had a training program in December, which was called My Women for Women, and we handpicked women leaders from around the country, and out of 56 of them, 42 of them have started satellite centers in 10 states in Malaysia, excluding Sabah, Sarawak, Perlis and Terengganu. All the other states, we have women leaders who are working silently. At their houses, in their offices, in schools, in government departments. They gather their friends, they pool these resources, they see who has all this resources and all. So this was possible when through other women organizations, we were able to identify these women, we called them for this training, we were able to train them, and at the same time we dispersed them into the community, and now they are working.
How long did the training take?
This training took them about 4 days, 3 nights. It was done in a hotel, and they went through a lot of different types of trainings. Motivational trainings, yes.
Projecting your income, and so many different things within.
And they were very happy when they went back, because they found a lot of things. They discovered things that they never had before about themselves.
Right.
They actually told us, I never knew that I could do this. Wow, this is a new me. So thank you for giving me that. And what we told them was that please go out and help more women to discover the real them. You have to discover the real you. Right. You have to allow yourself to do it. You see, 62% of the enrollment in higher education centers are made by female students, right? But at the workforce, once they get married, they have children, when they have school-going children and all, they would drop out of workforce. Right. I've seen doctors who are specialists whom had children.
Right. My husband asked me to stop working. I'm sure you've heard that before.
No.
My husband said stop working.
She did it herself.
Yeah.
They did it themselves. It's not the husband. The husband, he's also a doctor, and he says, what a waste. She did her specialization, she did her sub-specialization, she's such a good doctor, and it's all a waste. She wants to sit at home and take care of these children.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's not wrong. You see, you have to do that as well, but at the same time, we can't afford to lose you. You are just so precious.
Right. Right.
We don't want to lose you.
It's interesting that you talk about these things and also talk about a mentality shift at the same time. So, I like to pick up on that point of talking about a mentality shift. I like to always use Australia as what do you call it? Because whatever Australia does, we are like 4 or 5 years behind them, and we keep following their trends. And when it comes to what do you call it? Women being empowered and women being on top jobs. If you look at Australia, they've kind of reached that. They had a female premier recently.
Julia Gillard.
Julia Gillard. And having said that, with what we're doing, what we need, when you say a mentality shift, do you think
Gerard,
that a mentality shift
I would like to just pick on that a little bit. You are talking about Australia. Let's talk about Pakistan. We have had Benazir Bhutto. We have had Chandrika Kumaratunga in Sri Lanka. We are still having Sheikh Hasina Bibi in Bangladesh. Third world countries have done that. Where are we?
Right.
Please continue.
Right. So third world countries are doing that. Are we still a third world country? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is third world countries have done it. We are slightly better than them. We are making so much of progress. Why haven't we had a deputy prime minister for that matter?
Right.
Don't go to the prime minister's level yet. Let's talk about the deputy prime minister's level. Of course, we have a lot of deputy ministers these days. Thanks again to our honorable prime minister. He has made way for this, and he has set this goal that in 2016, 30% of decision-making positions in the corporate sectors should be filled by women. But again, at this point of time, in 2013, we only had 8.6%. So, by 2016, can we reach the 30%? It will only happen if policies make it mandatory for companies to make women sit on the board, if they make it mandatory for these women who are capable. I told you earlier, 200 people, they are there, but these doors are shut. So where's this mentality? So the mentality shift should be both ways. Not only women, they should come out and present themselves, be vocal about what they are facing, find different ways of doing certain things.
And
that is
I
one.
think with regards to women too, the power of association is very important. Saying, like when I picked Australia as a role model, I say that in Australia, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, or minister, women get together, or even a rubbish collector, women get together to do things together. Here we have different classes, and I think that should be somehow tapered off at some point.
I totally agree with you, and that is why we have these things. I told you about the satellite centers. See, they are women of different walks of life. Some of them are housewives staying at home, some of them are teachers, some of them are government employees, but at the same time they are able to garner support from doctors, professionals, at the same time get some other women working in other doing various jobs.
Different sectors.
Yes, they are in different sectors. So it is actually happening. And my future vision is to have a centralized networking system where we have all these women coming together, working together, helping your sisters. That is what we want to do with My Women.
Right. Well, for those of us who want information with this great initiative, you're very empowered to do this for women, and for women who want to come out there and do what you're doing or help you achieve this goal for women in Malaysia. Is there a website they can go to for more information?
Yes, there is a website. It is www.mywomen.org, and we also have an email address that they could put in their queries to, training@mywomen.org. Training@mywomen.org, so they could actually write to us on what are their issues, if they have problems, they have been abused, because there have been certain cases where we have been involved in providing legal expertise to these women when they have been abused in various ways, at home, at work. So we have been their voice. So if you have been abused, or if you feel that you have the kind of help and the kind of resource that you would like to disperse to needy women, you can reach us through training@mywomen.org.
You'll get all the information there. On that note, Dato Geethanjali, it was a pleasure having you in the studios. We do hope to have you again to have discourse over this matter.
Thank you very much.
On that note, you have a great Wesak Day with your family. We'll be back with more tomorrow right here on Bernama Today. Of course, on behalf of the team, I'm Jared Ratnam signing off. Have a great day ahead and a blessed Wesak to all.